through the music box. And I came through one morning, I think, on brushes and ballads. And then, boom, you made me a bouncer. And I was like, holy shit. This girl, I don't really, like, even know besides, like, the music box. I said, yo, that's love. I fuck with it. That's my vibe. That's my kind of vibe. Like, you know what I mean? I do that to people. So, it's crazy. And oh hey, she said I met Trinity through the music box as well. It took me forever to get to brushes and ballads because I sleep in on Sundays. Robert, welcome. So Trinity, tell us a little about you. For starters, where are you from?
I'm from Flint, Michigan, but I live in Greeley, Colorado, which is about an hour northeast of Denver.
What do you do for a living?
I work in insurance for a Fortune 500, one of the top three insurers in the nation. I work in total loss claims.
Ooh. What does that consist of?
My job is mostly handling paperwork for total loss vehicles, so power of attorneys, odometer disclosures, making sure that we're legal with all the states that I deal with so that we don't get fines and we're handling title transfers to the insurance company name or branding it to salvage for the owner if they're keeping it.
Oh, how do you like your job?
I get to help people every single day. These people have been in a motor vehicle accident on top of COVID, on top of lockdowns, everything else. We don't know what's going on in their life. And I get to make sure that by doing my job correctly, I'm helping them get reimbursed for that loss as quickly as possible. So it means a lot to me. Thank you.
Oh, that's so nice. Guys, she's always just like the sweetest. She's just got like that heart of gold that like I'm so serious. Like you just speak and 90% of the time it's just like angels fly out of your mouth. Like it's just so you're like the sweetest person I know. Oh my goodness. So how long have you been streaming for? And this is gonna be like a little two-part question. Um, what do you like? What's your favorite part of stream?
I like interacting with people. I like answering questions they may have about what I'm doing, explaining my processes. Uh, I enjoy curiosity. Curiosity means a lot to me because if you're interested in what I have to say, that just means the world to me because I'm nobody special. But for people to be interested in what I have to say and what I do means the world.
Guys, she's just so sweet. When do you usually stream?
Normally, I stream every Sunday morning on Brushes and Ballads with O Darling, and I paint and she does music, so Brushes and Ballads. Best hangover cure on the app. We are on winter break right now, but we plan to be back on January 31st. There may be a few weeks when we're off. I know we both have some things going on in our personal life, but I enjoy that. I also live stream when I'm doing dread maintenance sometimes, just because why not? Let's talk about dreads. Let's show people
Go
what I'm
for it.
doing.
Yes, go. Please, just jump right in, girl. Jump right into it. Seriously, like give us the kind of like when and how. Like what are the basic like what are dreads. And then if you want to go straight in from there, like you can tell us about I see dreads in your hair. Give us your story as well about everything that you've been through and how you came to this.
So dreadlocks are basically just mats of hair. Um, these are naturally occurring. This is what happens to your hair if you do not comb it. I just happen to say I'm going to tell mine where I want it to mat. So that's what dreadlocks are, and it happens with every race, with every hair type. There is nobody in this world that if you don't click your hair or if you don't comb your hair, it's not going to lock. That's just what happens naturally. Um, for me, I started doing dreadlocks when I was 18, I started dating a man who had dreadlocks, and it was really expensive to get them maintenance. So he taught me how to do his hair, and he was a person of color. So I learned how to twist and how to use wax and all that kind of stuff, which I will get into that, but I don't recommend that ever anymore, regardless. Yes, yes, Jay, that works. You can shave your head. That works too. So that's how I got into it, was just learning on his hair, and I found out that I actually was kind of good at it because I have OCD. So I like to be very precise in everything that I do. So I get in there nitty gritty and make sure that everything is perfect. And then I started doing his friend's hair, and then I got introduced to a Caucasian person with dreadlocks that taught me how to use a hook and why wax is bad. Um, I had made a commitment to donate 10 ponytails because I was a cancer survivor. And when I had cancer, the only thing I said is, don't let me lose my hair. I was all about my hair. I loved my hair. Don't let me lose my hair. If I don't lose my hair, I will donate 10 ponytails to Locks of Love, which I didn't use Locks of Love because they're a scam. I used Wigs for Kids, but I did donate 10 ponytails, which is why it took me so long to dread my hair. My dreads have only been in about 4 years now. And the reason I
So
decided to lock
nice.
is because I love the dreads. I love dreadlocks. Just in general, I love how they look. I love the meaning behind them and how everyone has their own reason. For me, I locked up 1 month exactly after my mom passed away. And it was partially mourning and partially me just deciding that I needed to learn patience because I was a very impatient person. And it's definitely done its job. I've made a 10-year commitment before I can even trim these or comb them out or whatever I decided to do. So I still got another 6 years at least with these.
Oh, no, that's right. But that's cute. Yes. Yes. I mean, do you go into if you want to keep going, what do you do to like maintenance your dreads? You want to give us a more in depth on what products you use and how you wherever you want to start.
Well, let's start with an installation. There's several ways you can install dreadlocks. Um, the way I personally use is I will section out all the hair to where I want them. And sectioning is super important because those sections are going to be on your head for the lifetime of your dreadlocks. If you want a part, you need to section that in. If you want to have them lay a certain way, you need to section it so that they will lay that way. And it's very complicated. Um, it's geometry. That's what it is. It's geometry on somebody's head. And then I will back comb every single section. Depending on the head, you can have anywhere between 20 and 80 sections you have to back comb. And I will back comb them as tight as they will go. And then I go in with a hook, which I'll show you when I go into maintenance. And I do your first maintenance right there. Just roll them along and pull in the loose hairs to round them out and give them that dreadlock shape. Those are not dreadlocks. Those are just where we are encouraging the dreadlocks to form. Dreadlocks mature over time. They will loosen, they will tighten, they will shrink. Shrinkage is real. It is very real. I started out with my hair to my waist. My hair was up here when it was done shrinking. I did not put my own dreadlocks in because that is a pain. I had someone else do them for me. But in about 18 months, my hair went from waist to my shoulder, barely touching my shoulders. When it comes to maintenance, I don't use any products. Wax is for candles, not for dreadlocks. The problem with wax is that when you wax hair, it prevents it from moving. It keeps it in that space. So your dreadlocks will look great. They're going to look amazing, but they're not dreadlocks. They're just clumps of hair that are waxed in place. In order for dreadlocks to form, they have to have the ability to move and create that friction so that they tighten up. That's how knots happen, is with friction. So wax is definitely bad. I don't use anything when I'm putting somebody's dreadlocks in. When it comes to like products I use naturally, a good shampoo is very, very important. This is the shampoo that I use uh, weekly. I wash my dreads about once a week.
Oh, it's tea tree. Oh, that's got to be so relaxing on the scalp.
It's tea tree and lemon sage, and the tea tree is actually super important. Tea tree prevents mold, and dreadlocks can mold. It's called dread rot, and so you want tea tree in your products because that's going to prevent mold from growing. And you also, when your hair is wet, you don't want to put it up. You don't want to sleep with wet dreads. It's gonna mold. Think about like getting a wet washcloth, bringing it out, throwing it in the corner for 2 weeks. How does that smell? It doesn't smell good. So this is what I use mostly. What's important when you're picking a shampoo for your dreadlocks, if you can get tea tree, great. If not, I do make a miracle spray that I'll show you how to make, and that contains tea tree essential oils in it. But you want to make sure that there's no sulfates, there's no parabens. Paraben is just another word for wax. We've already discussed wax is bad. Anything like dyes or gluten or anything like that, that's all going to stick to your hair and it's not going to come out correctly. So you want it to be as natural as possible. Some people use like Dr. Bronner's. I don't recommend Dr. Bronner's just because it doesn't rinse out well and you get a lot of residue in your hair. It makes it look like you have like lint and all kinds of stuff. It's just not pretty. About once every month, I will use a tea gel shampoo. I just use the off-brand. It's the tea shell, which is the coal tar 2.5% shampoo. And that's because with dreadlocks, you do get dandruff. Whether you had dandruff before or not, you're going to get it now. Your hair's not moving. You're not stimulating your scalp by brushing your hair. You're going to get dandruff. You're going to get buildup. You'll get some plaque on your scalp. And just using that like once a month, once every 6 weeks, that'll go ahead and remove that and also prevent your scalp from flaking up like that. So my scalp for dreadlocks is actually really good. I haven't washed my hair in about 10 days. But you can see like there's no flakes or anything in there. They're clean.
And them lines. Did y'all see them lines? Them lines is on fleek.
And my hair hasn't been made about a year. I actually had an appointment.
Really? And them lines are still that girl. Yes.
Separation is super important. Your dreads will try to grow together. It's called congoing. So you have to go in and you have to pull them apart, and it's not fun. It can be very painful. In my dreadlock kit, I keep these because sometimes they are just way too close together and they hurt and you can't get them apart, but you have to separate them to the scalp at least once every 6 months. If you don't, they're going to not be fun.
Yeah, that sounds super painful.
It can be. Before I got my dreadlocks, I didn't have a sensitive head at all, but since I've got them, my head is so sensitive. Like my dreads are getting to my waist again, where after 4 years, it's finally the length it was before. And if I get a dreadlock caught in something and pull, it makes me cry. It's horrible.
Oh my God.
So do you want to see what I put in my miracle spray?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
now is this what you call it? You call it miracle spray. You came up with that name for it.
Yeah, it's my dread miracle. So I reuse bottles. My friend makes body sprays that are all natural, and she has these really great aluminum bottles that she uses. You definitely want to use aluminum or glass because plastic essential oils eat plastic, whether or not you know it. So it's super important to make sure you're not using a plastic bottle because then you're spraying melted plastic into your hair. So this is empty right now. This is a 9-ounce bottle. So most important, as I said, tea tree essential oil. So for my dread spray, I put in about 20 drops. of the tea tree. And this is for the entire 9-ounce bottle. And again, the tea tree, what that does is that inhibits mold growth, dread rot. You can just go ahead and Google it. I'm not going to show you pictures, but it's just mold growing in your hair because it's not drying correctly. The tea tree just inhibits that in case they're a little bit damp and you have to put them up for whatever. The second thing I use is peppermint essential oil. And the peppermint is important for itch. So I do tend to put like 20 drops of this in as well because your head will itch. Just like if anyone's ever had a weave or anything like that, you know when your scalp's not getting stimulated, it gets itchy.
Yes.
So the peppermint essential oil helps a lot with that. And I'm making it as we speak. I dumped out a quarter bottle so that I could make it and show you guys. I guess I could have just showed you the product.
Everybody, please leave your questions. We will make a section where we will have allow everybody to ask Trinity all the questions that you guys have. Cool.
We're getting to that, Daniel. I do have that in here too. Then we have rosemary. Okay. Rosemary is so rosemary helps with dandruff as well, but it's also a pest repellent. The biggest fear of anybody with dreadlocks is getting lice. Lice happens. I don't have kids, so I don't deal with like my kids bringing them home from school, but my friends have kids. And if I happen to see one of them and they got lice, I'm going to be panicky. Putting the rosemary essential oil, and I only put like 10 drops in this entire bottle. It will go ahead and it will kind of deter the pests from getting in your dread. It also keeps spiders away.
That's good to know. I don't like spiders.
Put some rosemary essential oil around like the corners of your rooms and like around your bedding, or put some in the washer when you wash your bedding.
You then put that stuff in the washer?
You can put essential oils in when you wash your clothes, yeah. And then I use lavender essential oil. Now, lavender is kind of like a conditioner. It softens your dreads so they don't feel like Brillo pads. They feel kind of soft. So that's what the lavender is for, and that's about 15 drops. And I will, depending on what my hair is doing, I do adjust how much of what I'm putting in. If my dreads are super dry, I'll put in more lavender. And each one of these bottles of spray that I'm making lasts me about 2 weeks. So it's long enough to treat whatever's going on. Lastly, eucalyptus, as Daniel brought up. Eucalyptus is super good for dreads. It also is a pest repellent, just like the rosemary, but it just smells so good. And there's so many benefits to eucalyptus oil. It helps with itch as well, keeps bugs away, all that kind of stuff. So I put about 15 drops of that in, and it smells so good. So we got our little bottle with all the essential oils in it, which is about that much of the bottle, just a little bit. And then this is super important. You can't use tap water on it. You want to use distilled water. Distilled water doesn't have anything in it. So it's got all of the minerals taken out of it, so you're not putting mineral deposits into your hair. It's bad enough that I rinse with tap water, but I can't afford to rinse with distilled water. That would be super expensive.
They're $1 for a gallon at Family Dollar.
Yep, I know, but it would take me about 3 gallons to rinse my hair.
Oh, Lord.
Every time. So just fill the rest of the bottle up with that distilled water so that there's no crummies in it. It's definitely good water. Give it a shake. And then I just spray all of my scalp. And then sometimes I'll do my ends if they're really dry, I'll spray my ends. And that's how you make miracle spray.
Ooh.
Got everything you need in it for your dreads.
It's like one of that, that guy, that meme that they used to have with the salt. It's just like, it's so sweet. I love it. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
So,
Go for it.
no, you're fine. Maintenance. So I use the hook for maintenance. This is the hook, and I don't know if you can see it. Tell me if you can see that.
A little to the stop right there. A little this way. Yeah, right there. Stop. Now we can. Everybody can see the hook.
It's super tiny, and it has this little flap on it.
It reminds me of like doing a latch hook.
It's exactly what it is. It's a teeny tiny latch hook. It's actually a hair extension hook. You can get at Sally's. It's mine like by the dozen. And this is what I use to maintenance when I'm doing someone's hair. I have a maintenance coming up, so I'm not going to actually maintenance my hair, but I'll show you what's involved. Besides separating to the scalp, you can see like this is stuff that needs maintenance. The hair that would naturally fall out, and like when you brush your hair or stuff like that, or hair that breaks off, or if you have to cut them apart, or when you pull them apart and they break, you're going to have new growth, and that gets all tucked in. So you separate to the root, and then you would turn it.
Move this way. Move this way.
Sorry.
There we go. Yep. No, you're good.
You turn it.
It's a trial and error process.
All the loose hairs, you just pull and ball up into a little ball on the side. Do a little ball. It's a lot more when you do the roots, but just for demonstration purposes. Then this little hook goes through the dreadlock. You're going to capture that ball. Make sure the flap goes up because that flap protects your hair from ripping. You don't want it to rip. That weakens your dread. You want to keep them as intact as possible. If anybody tries to use an open hook on your dread, then you deposit it and take the hook out. And then the ball is in the middle of the dread and all the loose hair goes in. If anyone tries to use an open hook on your dreadlocks, then they are damaging your hair. I had that done one time. It took a lot less time. It took about an hour and a half. The way I maintenance dreads takes about 6, 7, 8 hours, depending on the head. But I don't cause damage. The worst thing I do is when I have to separate them. When somebody's maintaining my hair, they're going to go through and it's actually Erin. She's the model that I normally live stream with when I do her hair. So I'm teaching her actually right now. So she's going through and separating all my hair to the scalp, and she's going to pull in all of my hair. Like I said, I get maintenance like once a year.
I see like a lot of. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I see a lot of people have a lot of questions. Do we want to open the comments up, guys, and we can start asking questions? You cool for that, Drew?
Yeah, let's do questions.
All right, cool. And does anybody have questions? I know Layla had asked, how often do you maintenance? Do you do maintenance?
I get my hair maintenance once. So if it's like that, I separate my hair and it starts to show that I can do like this part of my own. If I can see it, I can do it. But I can't see the stuff in the back. So I do have to have help with that. I'm not setting up some kind of weird system with mirrors and all kinds. No, I don't have time for that. I will pay somebody to do it. I recommend every 6 to 12 months, depending on your hair and what your hair needs, what you do. Other than that, it's really depends. But for me, it's once a year. And yes, time is money. My dread maintenance is not cheap. I charge for a full installation, so going from straight hair to beginning dreadlocks, I charge about $300 to $400 for a head. That's to begin a full head of dreadlocks. If you want just one dreadlock, just a pet dread, it's $15 for me to put one dreadlock in your hair. And then maintenance, it's between $150 to $300 depending on the head.
Wow. How often do you have? Oh, hey, asked. How often do you have to make a new miracle spray for your hair?
Well, I have like 4 of these bottles now, so like every couple of months, because each bottle will last like about 2 weeks.
Daniel asked, is all types of hair equal, as in thin, thick, wavy, curly? Does it all dread up the same?
No, it does not. Um, the more texture hair has, so your curly hair, your very textured hair, your thicker hair, that tends to dread more. The way I do it, I can dread anybody's hair. I can dread a newborn baby's hair because of how I do it and because I have 20 years experience. Um,
Now that's going to be the new trend, guys. Newborns with dreads.
but yeah, it's interesting trying to work on somebody with super fine hair. If your hair's super fine, it's got to be longer than if your hair is like Frankie's hair. I could dread Frankie's hair if it was about 4 inches long. If Frankie had baby hair, her hair would have to be down to her waist because I'm going to have to put more knots in it in order for it to stay.
There is my hair is thick as shit. I hate it. I hate it so much.
There's no such thing as hair being too thick to dread. None at all. They lied to you.
Another question we had was, have you thought about making a brand for your miracle spray?
Not really. I have no desire to start an Etsy business. I have a hard enough time selling my paintings, which make me more money than my dread spray would, because there's so many products out there people could buy. There's so many companies that are, worldwide and already make stuff like this. My goal, I teach my people that I work on how to make their own product so that they're not spending ridiculous amounts of money. So those are 4-ounce bottles of essential oils. They'll last me 5 years. And that'll be like 2 gallons of water. So it's a lot cheaper than paying $15 for this.
That's true. Well, yeah.
Yeah, but be careful. Even if you're working with or buying your stuff from a company that works with dreadlocks and is dreadlock exclusive, they might not be okay. Their products like Dolly Locks, I would not trust Dolly Locks at all. They use parabens in their products. I've seen people use Dolly Locks and have great results, but I've also seen Dolly Locks. It's a dreadlock company out of the UK. And there's a lot of people that have a lot of issues with using them because their hair isn't dreading properly because it's not getting the friction because of those parabens in their product.
How many clients do you do dreads or do you maintenance on? Like how many have?
I've done. Oh my gosh, I've had at least 100 clients. Currently on a rotating schedule, I have about 6 that I work on. Nixie, who's also on this app, I'm getting ready to do her installation in a few weeks. So I'm looking forward to that. I might live stream that installation. So that will be interesting. So watch out for that. I will blast once she sets an appointment. I'll blast out when the appointment is, so you guys can mark it on the calendar.
Oh man, I so want to see it. Daniel asks, our dress twist the same thing? Because we were talking earlier in the meeting. I was telling you how I used to get my crown either twisted or braided.
Yeah, no, dreads and twists are not the same thing. Twists is legitimately just twisting it. Normally you use gel or something to keep them, nice and smooth and tight. Dreads are actually millions of knots in your hair. That's what it is. These are all knots. All of this is knotted. And you can see, like, even after 4 years, it's not completely, like, this is loose hair. You'll always have loose hair at the end unless you purposely blunt them. But blunting them purposely keeps water in your dread. So I don't recommend that either. I like to keep them loose, helps the water drain out and dry. I wouldn't necessarily say that dreadlocks are the cleanest hair in the world, but just like with any hair, keeping it clean is based on your own hygiene. If people have stinky dreads, that's a hygiene issue, not a dreadlock issue. Um, like I said, I wash my hair about once a week, once every 10 days, 2 weeks in the winter if I can make it that long, just because it takes me, thank you, so long for them to dry. It takes all day for my hair to dry. But my hair is clean. There's a lot of things with dreadlocks. There's cons to dreadlocks as with the pros. Like, I can't lay down on a beach and get sand in my hair. I don't want sand in my hair. I don't know how I'm going to get it out if it gets in there. These things suck up everything. I have so much cat hair from my cat in my dreads, it's ridiculous. Come here. You want to say hi?
Is it a kitty?
Yeah.
Is it a kitty?
Kitty.
Mine was sleeping. I just woke him up. I feel so bad. But everybody, me and Trinity will take a moment for everybody to say hi to our kitties. Everybody say hi to kitties. Kitties. Kitties.
He's
All
done.
right, go back to sleep. Go back to sleep. I woke him up. I feel like he was nodding right here. Have you what is the coolest experience you ever had dreading somebody's hair?
So over the years, before COVID, I was kind of big into the music scene. I was kind of a big deal, and I've done multiple musicians' dreads, local and national musicians. So I can plug them because I'm going to talk about them. Project 432, my favorite band in the entire world, and I get to call them my friends. They're based in Denver. It's like their music's kind of like Sublime meets Acid Trip. Really good. And their drummer, Mark, he broke his arm right before a show one day, and that night he dreaded up. I did not put his dreads in. I did not know that was happening. I was tripping on acid, and I got out of there quickly.
Say the name of the band again.
Project 432.
Project 432.
Yep, 432. And
yes.
So Halloween of 2019, after their show with Bumpin' Uglies here in Greeley, where I live, we were hanging out in the tour bus, and he was complaining about his dreads, and I happened to have a hook with me because it's just something I always have with me, a hook and a shaker. Will always with me. And Daniel, if you send me a message, I will send you the name of the band as well as my favorite songs for you to check out. They're on all platforms. But we were sitting in their tour bus and doing dabs and just chilling, drinking moonshine, doing dabs and doing Mark's dreads right there. I just actually did Mark's dreads last week, another maintenance, so.
Yo, that is epic.
Sitting there getting bump. You might want to check out Bumpin' Uglies too. They're super good. But yeah, they were just got off stage. I missed half the show because I was sitting there working on his dreads during the show as well. So it was great just hanging out with bands and drinking moonshine and doing dabs and doing dreadlocks. And it was really fun. That was one of the best memories when it comes to dreadlocks.
I'm sorry. What's the close second?
Close second would probably have to be when I was very first working on Erin's dreads. I had been trying to get Erin to let me do her dreadlocks for about 2 years because they needed work so bad. And she called me one day and she's like, "You have to fix my dreads or I'm going to shave my head." Somebody went in with an open hook and actually stitched all of the roots of her dreadlocks together.
Oh,
It was really
jeez.
bad. So when I was going through and doing her hair, she had hair where I had to make new dreads because of all the separation. It took me about 11 hours to do her hair. It was that bad.
Oh, jeez.
And she had 3 little ones that were so tiny that they were at risk of falling out. So I got to combine those 3, and we did an intentional Congo. So I've made those 3 dreads into one dread. So she has like that far down, she has one big thick dread, and then she has 3 little pieces coming off the end of it. And that was really interesting. 1, because I've been after her to let me do her dreads for so long, and 2, just because I got to save her dreadlocks. She loved her dreadlocks, and she finally let me get my hands in there because she was about to shave her head. She was legit done. And so for me to be trusted with that meant a lot.
This is Daniel's question here.
Yep, I'm reading it. I have actually. I do frequently. There are a lot of times. I have EDS, so when my hair is wet, it hurts my neck really bad. Um, Sometimes I have to put a neck brace on just to keep it from dislocating my neck. From my hair will gain 35 to 40 pounds of water no matter how much I squeeze it. So that becomes troublesome for me particularly. I've thought about combing them out. I even went so far as to start combing one out. I love the dreadlocks. They're just very difficult for me to have because of my condition. And it's a chronic condition. It'll never go away. I'm hoping, I really want to make it to my 10-year point. I committed I'm going to make it at least 5 years. And I think that if Aaron learned quickly how to do my maintenance so we can get it all done in one sitting and we can trade maintenance every 6 months, it will help me a lot because I won't be getting the pulling from them where I can't reach them and fix them myself as often as I do right now. But yeah, it's frustrating. It's really frustrating sometimes. Dreadlocks are not for people that just don't want to do anything with their hair. You can do dreadlocks like that, but they don't look like mine. They're not going to stay separate. They're not going to be individual dreadlocks. They're going to grow together. I can do that, okay. I can give you a pet dread. No, in comedy it won't work. I have tried blow dryers. I've actually went through and completely busted 5 blow dryers trying to blow dry my dread. It doesn't work. You can blow dry it a little bit, but you just have to leave them down and let them air dry, and then you have to smell them. Make sure you're not getting any mold. Now, if I could have like a barber's chair, one of those barbers with the dryer thing that comes down, that would.
Have you ever colored? I see your hair is blonde and also brown. Have you ever colored your hair a really fun color?
Not my dreadlocks. The reason your hair, as it grows out, it gets sun bleached, so that's why it's lighter. So I'm old. I'm like almost 40, so I get gray hairs. You can see it starting to come back in. And I bought 6 boxes because I'm cheap and I use boxes. And so I used 6 boxes and I started and I got all the grays and stuff and just worked it down as far as it would go. And you can see it didn't quite get all of it at all. This was 6 boxes and you can see how much it did get. But no, not my dress.
But I like that. That looks cool though.
Yeah, I like it too.
There's lots of. Would you put a fun color on your dreads?
If I had somebody to help me who was experienced in dreadlocks, yes. I'm afraid to put bleach on them because I know how hard they are to rinse out. And I know my physical limitations. I cannot rinse my hair for 2 to 4 hours to make sure all that bleach is out.
Right.
But if I had somebody to help me that knew what they were doing, because I would definitely have to bleach them out first, whatever I was going to do.
So is this something you're going to train your apprentice Aaron?
I'm
So
gonna
that
train
it's a
Aaron
possible future.
to
I'm sorry, one more time.
I don't safely bleach dreads, so I won't bleach dreads. I will put a color on dreads, but my hair is so dark it wouldn't take out any color without bleaching.
Get you, I get you. Oh my goodness. Do you have any tips for like people who would wanna like, start dreads?
If you're considering dreads, the first thing I want to say is do your research. The research is very important. Make sure that you look at timelines. Make sure you understand the process for dreads to form, what actually happens, what's going to happen to your scalp. If you decide that you're ready to take a dreadlock journey, because they are a journey. They grow and they change and they shape, especially in the first 2 to 3 years. They change every single day. And if that's a journey you want to make, the first thing I would recommend is before you do your dreadlocks, you're going to want to quit conditioning your hair 3 to 4 months ahead of time. And you're going to want to slowly slow down your shampoo regimen until you get it to about once a week before you put your dreadlocks in, because you want your scalp used to not having that. The more you shampoo your head, the more oil your scalp is creating. So you want to get your hair used to not being shampooed as much, because that oil is going to prevent your dreads from blocking. How hard are
So
dreads
do you
to get rid of?
essentially need your hair to be like as dry as it can be to be able to dread?
No, it just can't be conditioned.
Okay.
You don't want soft hair. You want your hair kind of rough. I tell people before I dreadlock them, the night before they get their dreadlocks, the one thing I want them to do is get Dial bar soap. And I want them to shampoo their hair with Dial bar soap and leave the bar soap on there, leave it like lathered for a good minute before you rinse it out, and then make sure you comb it out all the way. I don't want any knots in there when I start, and I want the hair clean and dry. But the bar soap, the Dial bar soap, isn't going to leave any residue, and it also eats the residue off of it. Another thing you can do if your hair is super baby fine is to make a paste with baking soda and water, and just put that on your hair, leave it set for a second, and rinse it out, and that will rough up the texture of your actual hair strand, so it helps them lock together better. Yeah, your pillow can make a huge difference. I had a couple questions. Daniel asked how hard dreads are to get rid of. It depends. It can be real easy if you just want to shave your head. It can be really hard if you want to comb out. Like the dreads I have right now, if I were to sit and actually comb them out, you're looking at each dread would take me 2 to 3 hours, and I have 52 of them. So it takes a long time to comb them out.
Can I see that comb again? Is that a special comb?
Nope. I get it at Sally's. They're like 20 cents. They're metal though.
Okay.
So this is I sanitize it between clients, but this is my dreadlock comb. It's really thin, so it helps me to separate dreadlocks when I'm doing maintenance.
So what about the pillow thing? I'm curious about that now.
So pillowcases, you want to use like a really good cotton or silk. You don't want to use flannel, because flannel is going to get caught in your dreads. But if you find a wool pillowcase, because wool won't hurt your dreads. Wool is a natural fiber. Like I actually have wool in my dreads where I had put wrapped it in wool, and then my hair just ate the wool. So there's wool in the middle of my dreads. But wool caps and wool pillowcases, rubbing wool on your head will help them lock up faster. So wool does definitely help dread. I was gonna say something else, but I might be high.
Man, is she gonna let us? Is Ohe gonna let us smoke? It's 9 minutes to the show. You gonna let us spark, girl? We're not verified yet. Fuck it.
It's legal in my state.
Shh. Me too.
No more dollar store pillowcases. You want to make sure. Also, towels are important. You don't want to use cheap towels. You want to make sure that you have a high quality cotton or microfiber towel that doesn't shed. Because as I said, you're washing sponges, and every little bit of everything is going to get sucked into them.
Do you damn right, man. I had this shit waiting. I was ready. Do you let's see, train of thought gone. Boom. This is why we don't swim toward the show, guys. Yes, please make sure. First and foremost, I want to give this to you from the Oasis while I have it on the brain before I forget again. And just to thank you for level up Oasis, level up Oasis, level up, level up, level up Oasis, level up, level up. Hey, thank you so much, first and foremost, Trinity, for coming here, answering everybody's questions. Just talking about the maintenance, showing us your miracle spray. You know I love you. You know I love you. And how often do you stream, and what times can everybody find you? So anybody, please make sure you're favoriting Trinity.
Honestly, besides Brushes and Ballads, which I said will be back January 31st, it's really random. I've got a lot going on with my life right now outside. I'm working as much overtime as I can, so I haven't actually been on app for a few weeks now, because Brushes and Ballads are taking a break, and I've been extremely busy.
Right.
But if you favorite me, I pop up every now and then, and I do try to send out a blast before I go, as I know I'm gonna.
Y'all want to know how I find Trinity online? I'll be like, all right, I'm bored, and I go on Meet Me, and I'm like, oh, it's Trinity! That's literally what happens. And I'm like, yeah, get you.
And if anybody has any further questions regarding dreadlocks, or if you just want to chat, I did set my messages open, and they will not be there forever because I'm. Hi. I'm looking for a relationship. Hi. I have a boyfriend. Go away.
See, I get the hi, beautiful. Can I take you out to eat? You want to pay $5 fucking like what, bitch? Like those are the ones I get, and that's just why I don't go in my messages.
I think the worst I ever got was, how would you like $3,000 to come to my hotel room?
Oh shit. That's how you get killed and taken to the pig farm. Negative.
All right, hold on. So, $3,000 to come to your hotel room. You didn't say nothing about going in your hotel room.
Touche.
Hmm.
Touche. Oh hey, are you gonna get back in the box?
I saw your question. Sorry, I missed it. I have not combed my dreads out. I combed out about that much of one dread when I was really frustrated.
Is that something you do also to relax? Like you do dreads and it relaxes you? I know some people do hair because it's a job, but
till the first few hours. The first few hours is super meditative for me. Then when my body starts to hurt, it becomes a chore. So I try to work as quickly as I can in the beginning.
I get you. Thank you so much, Nell. Thank you. Love it. I love you. I love you so much. You're amazing. You're so awesome. I love you so much. I love you. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Everybody, please make sure Trinity comment again so everybody can please favorite Trinity. Oh, hey, I'm going to need you to request that box. Ma'am. Request the box. And everybody, please also catch Trinity some point in the near future with the Oasis. Not just like she says, she does brushes and ballads. She is a painter as well. And we can't wait to have her back on the show as well to show her artwork and even possibly a little something for all of us. Thank you. Yes, you Trinity. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Please.
Yes,
Thank you.
So, guys, I don't know if you know, this is our closing to the show, and thank you everybody for being here. Shout out to the bouncers. You guys every week come here and make sure nothing happens. We really appreciate you guys. You can find me and Oh Hey on Instagram. Mine is Lil Frankie Jr. underscore the third, and
Meet me underscore OA91.
and if you would like to be a guest on our show, that's where you can find us as well. Send us a message, and we will get back to you with anything that you guys need. Thank you to our bouncers again. Guys, also, I am a contestant for what comes next at 8 o'clock.
Oh yeah, Trinity's Instagram is Trinity Dawn Art.
There you go. At Trinity Dawn Art. Everybody go follow Everybody go follow Trinity on Instagram as well.
Sorry, go ahead. Frankie.
What?
Oh no, go ahead. I'm like delayed.
It's okay. Guys, we are closing the show now because I can't do this anymore.
So, coming up at 8 p.m. Eastern is Pyramid, hosted by Johnny
Boy.
Johnny,
And I am one of the contestants.
and Frankie is a contestant. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In Johnny O Boy stream, the Pyramid. I love you, Trinity.
Thank you for all of you that hung out with us.
You guys are awesome.
And the Pyramid is a music show. They do a music competition, so that's cool.
Thank you.
All right, you want to? We'll just end it.
All right.
Bye, everyone.
See ya.